Hello, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Because right now it's nighttime.
Depending on where you are.
Depending on where you are. I believe Erhan right now will be asleep.
And Shane, where is Shane?
In Washington. He has nothing
same
changed.
time zone,
So
okay.
Shane's still with us right now.
So good evening, Shane.
So good evening to Shane, and I'm very sorry, Shane. We did the recap and award show yesterday. I was with my special guest, Mike Alogio, the MVP, of course. But something happened. And something changed. And we have to redo this now. So, of course, I am the commissioner himself, the Smooth Effect himself, and I am with here, of course,
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
or Mrs. Rogers.
Mrs. Rogers.
But that's good enough. We know who you are, they know who I am, but we got to get into the recap for week 1. We've done it already, but we got to redo it. Let's go. We'll start with the matchup, the reason why we're here. The Coney Island's finest win against Vince Will Fortune. Now, if you remember, on Monday night after the game was over, when Randy Bullock kicked the field goal, I was like, oh, look, Shane won. Wow, Shane won by 0.4. Amazing.
It was a crazy
0.4.
heartbreaker.
It was great, 0.4. Crazy heartbreaker. Sarah was hurting so much. But it turns out that the NFL decided to do a stat correction, and it turns out that Shane lost. He lost by 0.6.
Ouch.
Damn, Shane.
Ouch.
That sucks, because he was going around.
3
he
days
was happy.
later, too.
He was happy.
For
and
3
everything.
days he was going around. Hey, I won.
2 days. 2 days.
Okay.
So but damn, that sucks. So he ended up actually losing by 0.6. He won originally by 0.4 to lose by 0.6.
I feel for you, bro.
I feel so bad for you, guy, because last year we didn't have stat corrections. This is the first time we ever had a stat correction, and what happened was the Minnesota defense was credited for a sack that was actually a penalty. They were offside, so they had encroachment, and the play is dead unless, obviously, the offense accepts, declines the penalty, which you're not going to, you're not going to accept the sack.
Defense loses a point.
Right, so the defense doesn't lose a point. They gain for a sack.
They gain.
But because the sack didn't exist, they never got a sack. Right, they had to take it back.
So
they took it back, and you lost the point, which made you lose by 0.6. Sorry.
And
guys.
this goes to show you that 1 point really doesn't make a difference.
It's true.
It makes a difference. That's proof.
Yeah, because that hurt.
That's horrible. Oh God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry too, guys. But we're gonna move on to the next one. We got the Scorpio going against the trees. And you know what? The trees are lost. You know why? The trees was talking mad shit.
They got chopped down.
He was saying how he was gonna go undefeated. Well, number one, never call undefeated. When you call undefeated, you automatically lose that next battle. It's going to happen. It's how it works. And Mark, you were dumb and you lost.
That's a jinx.
You jinxed yourself and you lost to the Scorpio. 152.55 to 109.6. You're garbage.
Ouch. That's bad.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. You talked so much crap and you blow. You fucking lost to the blow, so you should start to blow. Now, that's good enough, but we'll move on to the next one. We got me, the Smooth Effect himself, going against one. My personal favorites, the Bone Crushers. The Bone Crushers, and he likes to crush them bones. But I did say, in fact, there is no bone crushing in week 1. And you know what? I was correct because I won.
And there was no bone crushing.
There was no bone crushing, and I won 118.55 to 102.2. I won. Yeah, I did a good job. It was close. He was starting to come up a little, but the whole Eagles and Redskins, and he lost so many points because the Eagles threw up 33 on Washington.
Yes, they did.
So it worked out for me, and that's a victory.
Good for you.
That's right. Moving on to the next one, we got the Funky Cow Medinas going against the Prodigy of Brooklyn, or we know her as Brooklyn's Prodigy. And the Funky Cow Medinas did, in fact, pull this one off. It was 128.8 to 125.45. That was close.
That's tough, yeah.
That was close.
That's tough, and she really caught up.
Mm-hmm.
She was behind by a lot.
She was down by a lot. If Ryan Matthews was actually good, she could probably win that game.
You got to give it to her though. That was a crazy comeback.
It was a great comeback. But if
lose
Ryan
by
Matthews
3?
if Ryan Matthews was good, she probably would have won. But Ryan Matthews sucks. That's one of the major problems.
And Jared Cook, of course.
And you didn't start Jared Cook, where you would have won. But
yeah.
We'll get into that. So she lost by 3.5, I'd say. She lost by 3.5.
Yeah.
But we'll round it off. So you technically lost by 4. But hey, you gave your best shot. I didn't really think she was going to do anything like that. She just made a mistake.
We were rooting for her, but it didn't happen.
And now Alex talks all this shit like he's been doing.
Of course.
Dancing around and everything.
Of course.
Oh, well, we'll move on to the next one. It's you, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, going against the Tassans Assassins. And he said he was going to assassinate you. He was going to destroy you. He was going to just eliminate you. But it turns out that's not exactly what happened.
Couldn't have been more wrong.
He was definitely wrong. And you won 145.45 to 120.75.
Ooh.
He did give you a run for your money, though.
Yeah, the first night, and I didn't have anyone going.
No, he gave you a run for your money. He was it was him really in the lead until Sunday. In the later games is when you really came up and started to.
Of course,
to
I have a
pull
beast
it out.
team. Please.
Right, but he creeped. But again, you know it's
Didn't
still a
creep
loss.
enough.
It's still a loss, regardless of whatever anybody says. You still lost. But you gave it your best shot, and that's all that matters.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's move on to the next
Go.
one. Let's finish this one off because we got what would Tebow do going against Strictly Hayes, and he leaves him saying "oh," and I'm pretty sure he left Victor saying "oh shit" because you know what? The Strictly Hayes, Mr. O himself, he won 119.25 to 103.1, and it turns out that he's got a victory.
He took over a great team.
He did. He took over a good team.
Hint, hint.
Took over a good team. Don't be one of those people that takes credit for somebody's team.
I only took credit once.
You
And he already thanked me for it, so
she's
you're
been taking
welcome.
credit.
You're welcome.
No, yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, that's enough. That's the
I know,
last time
I know,
I ever hear
I know,
you say
I know.
how you helped his team. He does make his lineup.
I know he does.
Okay.
He actually does do his lineup, unlike
yeah,
the
Omar
previous
does.
owner.
Omar does his lineup, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. Well, that is our recap. But now we got to get into, of course, the awards show. Everybody loves the awards.
Yay.
We're bringing the awards back, and of course, we have the MVP himself. It goes to none other than Mike Alozio, or the Alozio Blow. He gets
Scorpio.
the Scorpio. He had the highest points. MVP means you have the highest points. You get the
Yes.
belt, and
Yes.
again, we did this yesterday, so he had 152.55. So this is what happened yesterday. Let's show the clip. So, without further ado, we'd like to hand over the championship belt of the MVP to Mr. Alozio himself, the Scorpio, and of course the former MVP. As we know, she was the former MVP. She was the MVP from last year, but now she has to hand it over to Mike. So MVP, ladies and gentlemen, Mike Alozio from the Scorpio.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Well done.
Very good. Congratulations, sir. Do you have anything you'd like to say? You're the MVP.
Watch out. Rookie of the year.
That's
all I gotta say.
Oh, I thought this whole thing had a plan. All right,
Nope.
we cut the plan. But all right, so fine, that's good enough. You got your belt. You got to keep it for a week. Next week, if you don't win it again, you have to then hand it to the next person.
All I want to say is. Yeah, I brought the damn trees. Brought them like my aunt Kitty's cooking. See you guys next week.
That was the clip. As you can see, he got the belt. He was excited. He smoked that tree is mine. Yeah, you know, he tried to do a Jamaican accent. It wasn't really good. But that's how that works out for that.
Good for him.
Well, what do we got to move on to the next one? Because somebody was hurting for a squirt. Somebody, in fact, was hurting for a squirting, and it turns out to be the Bone Crushers.
Your favorite guy.
One of my personal favorites.
And your opponent.
That's right. I said it. I said I was going to leave him hurting for a squirting, and in fact, he was hurting for a squirting because he only got 102.2. Victor was right on top of him, very, very close, but Sirhan's guys did not produce like they were supposed to, and that's why he, for the first time ever. Got hurting for a squirting. So it happens. He knows it. He's not happy about it, but he knows what are you going to do.
You move on.
You move on to the next battle and just don't get it again. Just don't do it. But we got to get to the next one because somebody got knocked the fuck out. Somebody got knocked the fuck out this week. And yes, it was in fact the nastiest motherfucker of all time. The guy that talks so much shit. The fucking trees got knocked out. I don't remember exactly what it was because I remember in the other video we said it. I think it was like 42.95, something like that.
It was 43, roughly.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Round it off. But regardless, you were the one that lost by the most amount of points. That's what you're getting knocked the fuck out. You lose by the most amount of points.
Mike started a forest fire.
Yes, and
Let's keep it burning.
the only problem with that is nobody got contact high because Mark burned to death.
He burned.
And you lost. And you got knocked the fuck out, motherfucker.
Sorry.
Sorry, dude. Anyway, we gotta move on to the next one, of course, is they coulda, they woulda, they shoulda. Good chance, probably shoulda,
But didn't.
but they didn't do it. And we gotta give that to the prodigy of Brooklyn, Brooklyn's prodigy. We gotta give it to Lily because she did not start Jared Cook. I mean, I guess in a way I would have
can't-
been a little up in the air,
Yeah.
but Jared Cook is better than Pettigrew. I would go also based on the fact that the quarterbacks, Stafford's better than Bradford.
Yeah.
Stafford is better than Bradford.
Yeah.
Okay, but she knows now that obviously Bradford likes Cook. So guess who you're
Clearly.
going to be starting?
Start Jared.
Start Jared Cook.
Yeah.
So you're getting coulda, woulda, shoulda, because if you did start Jared Cook, you would have won, and all black men would have lost this week.
Ooh.
But that's why you get coulda, woulda, shoulda. You coulda, you woulda, probably shoulda, but you didn't. And of course, we're bringing back the Heartbreak Award. We got 2 people that are getting the Heartbreaker Award. I'll start with the low one right now because Lily's getting the Heartbreaker Award because she didn't start Jared Cook, and she only lost by like three points.
Yeah.
3 points, roughly 4 if you
Yeah.
round it off.
Yeah.
And that hurts a little bit inside. So I know how it feels. I was the first person to ever win the Heartbreaker Award. It's not something you want. But of course we gotta get to the main heartbreaker. And fucking Shane losing by 0.6 when originally he won by 0.3 or 0.4.
Ouch.
That is a heartbreak, guy. I know right now you are probably thinking this is bullshit. You are doing the bullshit of the week. Hey, you know what? Speaking of the bullshit of the week, why don't we let Alex explain his bullshit of the week? Alex, why don't you bring it and
Let's
tell us
go.
about that bullshit of the week?
Thank you, Tom. This week's bullshit of the week is a very special bullshit of the week because it wasn't my original bullshit of the week. I had it planned for someone else, but over the last couple of hours, that has drastically changed. Let me give you a little backstory here. Monday night, it was the Texans versus the Chargers, and it was a very close game between Shane and Sarah. Very close. And it ended with a kick by Bullock, I forgot his first name, that had Shane win by 0.4 points. So we said, oh, that's a heartbreaker. So it was done. We moved on. Shane had the victory, or so we thought, and we kept it moving. I recorded my bullshit of the week yesterday, handed it to Tom, and I guess whoever did their recap and awards for this week, and everything was good. Then today, we get a Facebook post from Sarah saying, I don't know if this is a glitch on my app, but I think I won this week. When I heard that, I was like, well, maybe it was a glitch. I doubt it. I go online to see that a stat correction was made, and Sarah won by 1 point. Apparently, the Vikings recorded a sack that was really offsides. Therefore, the stat was never changed until just a few hours ago. So for you, Shane, you get bullshit of the week. I'll tell it to anyone who wants to hear. Look, I'll tell it to Chinatown. Bullshit. I'll tell it to an auditorium full of children. Bullshit. I'll tell it to wherever this place is. Bullshit. I'll tell it to London. Bullshit. I'll tell it to Australia or Compton, whatever this place is. Bullshit. Dude, that was bad. I don't even know what to say, man. This is bullshit of the week. I don't care what happened in any Wes Walker catch. That's nothing. Because you went on for 2 days thinking you had a win. I thought you had a win. I even posted, we got Team Black 2-0, except for some of us. Then I have to apologize to Mark because you weren't the only one. Only one member of Team Black got the win, and it was me. But dude, 1 point, and it's not even the 1 point. It's the fact that for 3 days you thought you had, for 2 days, you thought you had this. You was strutting around, even, I heard, a rumor was, you even flash screenshotted your win and put it on Instagram. Oh, God don't like ugly. I don't even know what to say. There's nothing else, just bullshit. And that's this week's bullshit of the week. Hell, I think we're going to have an overall awards. In case something worse happens, you better pray it does. You're in top contender for bullshit of the year. Damn, man. Especially after Peyton Manning did all of that. Bullshit. Back to you, Tom. I don't know what else to say. Woo!
Thank you, Alex, for that bullshit of the week. I would have to agree with that.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that is absolutely bullshit.
That was the worst thing that happened this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Worst thing that happened this week.
It was
And,
so bad.
I mean, it was crazy. But one thing I noticed is that Alex, when he would say to anywhere, he didn't know that he was actually in New York when he said, I'm outside
Whatever
this
this
place
place
is. That's New York City, guy.
Yeah.
That's where you live, okay? Keep
That's your
that in mind.
hometown, dude.
Yeah, you're from New York. You didn't realize that was Broadway? I mean, the big chase, Times Square.
And you've been there how many times?
I don't know how many times you've been there, but the fact is you should know what New York City is. You didn't see the Empire State. They showed the Empire. If you look really close, you can see it, the reflection. You didn't see that?
Come on, guys.
That's bullshit.
That is bullshit.
I'm calling bullshit on you, sir, because you don't even know what city you live in. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, sadly. But that's how it goes, and that's what it's going to be. Because, like I said, that's the recap of week 1. And, of course, your awards. You've seen it. You've heard it. Next week it might be different. It'll be the same. Who knows?
It changes all the time.
It changes. But
Yeah.
I am the commissioner of the Smooth Effect himself, and I am with...
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Or Mrs. Rogers.
Whatever.
And I'll be back. Maybe you'll be back. And whoever's going to be back for next week when we do the recap and award show for week 2. Peace.
Deuces.
Lost it all. Nothing lasts forever. I'm sorry, I can't be perfect. Now it's just too late, and we can't go